Social Welfare Minister Polingdo today informed that the Meghalaya Cabinet approved the draft of the Meghalaya Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Scheme 2023. He emphasized that the government aims to strike a balance between facilitating livelihood opportunities for street vendors and addressing crucial concerns such as law and order, decongestion, and pedestrian safety. He outlined the implementation of the scheme, mentioning the formation of town vending committees and teams tasked with identifying and regulating legal street vendors. The minister informed that the government plans to designate specific areas as vending zones and no vending zones.
Today, the cabinet took up a few items. Some of these are routine matters, but others which are more important. One relates to a matter which is of concern to all of us, that is street vending and vendors. And the other matter relates to the power department, for which our minister in charge is here to brief you. On the first matter, which is the street vendors, as you are aware that there is a central act adopted and passed in 2014 called the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act of 2014, under which rules were framed by the state government in 2022. Now, as part of the process of the framing of these rules, a scheme was conceived known as the Draft Meghalaya Street Vendors Scheme 2023. And today this draft was approved by the Cabinet with a few observations and amendments. Basically, the intention of the government is that we strike a balance between the need of providing livelihood to street vendors and the need to also ensure that other equally important issues like law and order, decongestion, and safety to pedestrians, and the fact that, as we observed in the recent fire incident, how street hawkers were a major cause of the delay in the intervention by the fire services in containing the inferno at Kandailat. So today, the scheme was approved, and the salient features of this scheme I can share with you. But broadly, it speaks of town vending committees who will be eligible to be identified as legal hawkers. There are a set of criteria clearly laid down. For instance, the person has to possess an epic issued by the Election Commission of India, plus a certificate of at least 3 years residence in Meghalaya. The vendor should have been vending in a particular spot for a minimum of 6 months, and 3, he possesses a valid trade license in areas that are outside of the 3 normal areas under the control of the Shillong Municipal Board. We have also received a number of suggestions from various stakeholders, including the KHADC, the KSU, Sanjog Kirangba Shnong, Hawkers Associations, and today, after very detailed discussions, we have been able to finalize this scheme, and what we will now do next is to immediately take up an inventarization. We will start with the survey of the street vendors and process the applications of these vendors based on the broad framework which I have spelled out. Then we will also be taking up this special planning in order to decide which are vending and which are no vending zones. And the government would also strive to provide dedicated vending zones and market spaces to the street vendors. So broadly, this is what the scheme is as conceived earlier and as approved by the Cabinet today.